I thought I would contribute to the discussion that came up today on This Morning, which, for those here in America don't know what that is a morning TV show over in the UK in which they talk about a variety of different topics. This topic that was brought up in the financial side was discussing about if you were to come to America and you were to get yourself, hospitality service, whether it's food, drink, accommodations, that sort of thing, that not only are you paying for your purchase, that you're paying for your food or your drink, but some businesses would add on as well a hospitality charge, a service charge. So basically, they're asking if you would like to tip your workers. And the most amusing thing I find particular about this topic is the comments that came with it that I saw the video for on Instagram, where a lot of people basically say the same thing. Why should I be tipping workers for something in which they have done, in which is their job? Businesses should be paying them more, not the customers. It's the same thing. It's not my job to pay in the workers. It should be the job itself. I shouldn't be having to charge them. I shouldn't be having to pay them for doing something in which it's their job to do. Now, from a Welshman who has been living out in America for coming up to 10 years now, I can now put my foot down and say the following thing. It is optional to tip your servers, but at the same time, we do a lot of work for you. Because the majority of people who work in hospitality may not be happy, may not be feeling 100% great when they come into the workplace. There are those who have depression, those who are finding it a trouble and a worry to come into work and to basically try and keep that 100% top-notch ability to make sure that customers are satisfied. But we still do it. We come up to you with a smile plastered on our face and a how do you do? How is your day? You look marvelous. What can I get you? And then we make sure that you, the customer, are satisfied with the service that you are receiving. We pour your drinks, we serve you food, we rub your backs, we basically make sure on hand and foot that you, the customer, are 100% given a service with a smile. Even though that we are absolutely tired and dead inside. We basically want to make sure that you are happy with what you are getting from our business. And if you wish to tip your servers, then hey, that's the bonus. That kind of helps us out. Because with a lot of businesses these days, you get paid either weekly or bi-weekly. And sometimes, when you get your pay, surprise, surprise, it goes quickly because you are paying your bills. You are paying for your groceries. You're paying to keep the roof over your head. So when you are left with whatever you are left with to survive off for the next pay, then sometimes a little gratuity can go a long way for workers. If I may. Where are my pants? Normally, it's not in best interest for people to show on, what they make for tips and stuff and to show that and flash their cash, but I'm going to have to do that. From the last month, this is my tips. Majority of it right now is all in dollar bills because I haven't gotten around to organizing it yet. But yeah, these are my tips that I make in the business that I work in, which is hospitality. I serve drinks, I serve food, I make grilled cheese sandwiches, I do different boards, but I always do my services with a smile on my face. I know that a lot of people have known me and have come to know me that I do have minor depression and I have been basically working on my own demons out. Do I ever project that onto the customers? Absolutely not. I'm always making sure that they are taken care of first. Money I've put aside, like this little batch here, which is around about $100 right here, is for me because I'm considering getting a tattoo. I talk about the topic on, the comments that were made to say, why can't businesses pay their workers more? Why should I be paying for the service that I am getting? And why should I be paying the servers when it is their job to make sure that customers are happy? Well, that goes into the next part of it, which is basically plain and simple. Not a lot of people want to work in a service if they are going to get customers that are going to treat them with disrespect, that are going to throw stuff back at them and throw that respect back in their face for something in which could end up, being something of a mistake. There are times I've worked in services in which something has happened and I would get the bollocking from the customer. And I don't bloody argue. And that's the thing. I don't argue with the customers. Servers don't argue with the customers. Some people do, hence why they lose their jobs. But we don't argue with the customers. We're there to say, oh, my apologies. I am so sorry. Let me fix that for you. That is generally my fault. I am sorry. We take the blame for something in which, sincerely, isn't directly our fault, but the customer wants to get the bollocking out onto someone else because it makes them feel happy. And customers still think as though, with the old saying, the customer is always right, is what it is. The customer is always right, even though the saying for that has lost all meaning since it was first brought up in the 1800s. So, to the people who have commented saying it's their job, businesses should be paying their workers more, they should be paying a living wage. With respect, unless you have worked in the hospitality business, unless you worked as a server, and unless you have gone through what we have been going through, you don't have a right to tell or to give your contribution onto this matter. Respectfully. Because unless you have worked in that line of work and have experienced on what we, the employees, the servers, the cooks, everyone in hospitality has gone through, then respectfully, keep it that way. Of course. Additional entry, I forgot to mention as well, because other people, again, topic-wise, were saying that, oh, the business should be paying their workers more. There are two sides to that. First off, let's talk about the side I work in, which is a small business. We do as best of what we can. My bosses give what is best because they have to run a small business. There's a lot to go into it, and honestly, I respect small businesses more than I do for big businesses, and I would totally recommend that you guys as well go out and support your local and small businesses. Why? They are the actual businesses that keep the country running. Because yes, you've got your big businesses, you've got your Big Lots, your Price Choppers, your Walmarts, your Asdas, your Tesco's. Now, those big businesses, they're making billions of pounds and dollars of what they're making in sales and what they're doing for a business and investments. But the only people who see those high numbers are the actual higher ups in the business. The people who are on the shop floor, are in the business and are doing the services, you think for 1 minute now that they're going to see a single digit of those quadruple, fifth digits or anything like that, those additional digits in their paycheck? Certainly not, because big businesses assume that what they're giving their employees is more than enough to be considered as a living wage. Yet they still don't understand that the actual people who are making the money for the business are the actual people who are throwing their backs out for them. The actual people who are running around helping customers, taking the bollocking from customers and everything like that. The actual people who work on the floor of the businesses, they're the ones who are basically taking and making your business and making you money. And they barely see a full penny of that. That's why a lot of people don't want to work in the bigger businesses these days, because of that sort of crap. But small and local businesses, once again, I have the utmost respect for us, because we do the utmost best and we are the actual people who keep countries running, because without the small businesses, well, good luck on your next shop to Walmart.